Hey everyone, this is Simone Watson, and I've been absent for a while, so I'm sorry about that. I've got some videos that I've filmed on the right days, but for some reason didn't upload. So I may have to put those backlogged videos up on YouTube at some point. But let's get to the point of this video as quickly as possible. There are a lot of things going on book Twitter today and yesterday. Okay, a lot of things have happened, and I was late, to a lot of the stuff, so I don't know all the details of everything. And there are some situations I'm not going to address. One in particular that I'm definitely not going to address. But I'm just going to say a few things here, and then hopefully make a part two tomorrow or Friday if I have more information or something like that. But yeah, I'm just gonna generally start talking here. Um, so okay, I want to go on record saying this really quickly, you guys. I want to give you guys permission to call me out, and this is what I mean. I am pursuing the goal of being a published author, okay? And I have to remember that some people are not gonna like my books, okay? So, and some people may see something in my books that is hurtful to them. So I just want to go on record right now saying, if in the future I have a book published and somebody says something negative about it, even if it's very negative, and if I reply in a way that is full of vitriol and just hatred, and is not if I don't even listen to what the person is trying to say, but I just go respond angrily, um, please, if you want to, please call me out on that. Please say, Simone, on March 22nd, 2017, you said that this is a bad idea. Okay? Because you guys, this is a bad idea. Okay? I understand that when you write a book, it's very close to your heart. Okay? Believe me, I know you love your book. And when other people don't love your book, it can be really hard. Okay? And I can't even imagine how hard it can be when people are saying something about your book that, not just that they don't like it, but when people are saying that your book is actually harmful or, toxic or dangerous for young people. I can't imagine how much that must hurt to hear. Okay? So I have sympathy for that. But this is how I feel about people being offended at messages or statements from public figures, or people being offended in general. And I have to try and take my own advice on this. So, but what I think is, if you say something and somebody gets offended or hurt, and they let you know, hey, I'm offended or hurt, because listen, if they don't let you know, you may just not know. So it's good to know when you've hurt somebody, right? And so if somebody comes to you and says, you said blah and it hurt me, I feel like it's a good opportunity for you to ask yourself a question. And the question is, was I disrespectful to this person? Now, sometimes you will ask yourself, was I disrespectful? And you will honestly be able to say, no, I'm looking back at what I said and I stand by it. I don't feel there was anything wrong with it. Okay? But at least you've asked yourself that question. And the answer is no. If you ask yourself that question, you say, hey, this person felt hurt. If you've listened to what this person has to say and you're like, oh, okay, I've listened to it, I'm asking myself this question and I realize I may have been disrespectful. Okay? And you decide to apologize, that's great. But I think if you don't listen, or if you don't ask yourself that question, or if you are too quick to get on the defensive, everybody has gotten on the defensive at some point when somebody was offended. All of us have gotten on the defensive, okay? Almost everybody, I can't speak for everybody, but I've definitely done it, right? Somebody says, Simone, you hurt me. And I'm like, well, I meant it like this. Well, I this and this and this. Well, that's because this, and it's like, I didn't actually take the time to listen to what that person had to say and to reflect and think about, did I word it in a way that was disrespectful, or did I do something that was disrespectful? So I think it is a good idea to ask yourself that question, not to beat yourself up, but to see if there's a way that, you know, you can come to terms with this person, that the two of you can work it out, or that you can learn from it. If it was a mistake, that you can learn from it. But if you can't acknowledge that it was a mistake in the first place, you can't learn from it. And so what book am I talking about right now, right? I'm not talking about Sad Perfect. There is controversy over Sad Perfect. I do not fully understand what exactly is going on with the controversy. I understand the controversy is over harmful representation of eating disorders. I actually wrote a blog post in response to this, so I can link that. But I can't fully speak to anyone's response or like the author's response there, because I just don't know. I don't know how the author has responded to that criticism there. And, you know, so we don't know. The book that I'm thinking of is another book about eating disorders. And I don't know if I should even say the name of it here, because I'm trying not to angrily call people out, but this is a situation where this person has acted in a way, this person, this author, the author of this book has acted in a way that I feel is completely and totally disrespectful. And I am on the fence about whether I can put her name on it and say, hey, she acted in a way that was disrespectful, because it's so new and it's so fresh. Like, I'm not even sure what to do, but you guys may know what book I'm talking about if I describe it. This book, trigger warning, this book is about eating disorders, and it's I think pretty triggering. This author wrote a book about a girl, a ghost, who, I guess she died of an eating disorder. I don't know. I haven't read the book, but I read the description on Goodreads. I guess she died of an eating disorder, and now she's assigned as a guardian angel to another girl. And the dead girl, from what I gather, I could be wrong about this, from what I gather, the dead girl is teaching the living girl how to have an eating disorder and how to have disordered thoughts about food. She's like become the voice in the living girl's head. Like, she's become the voice of the eating disorder. So to me, that sounds triggering, very much triggering. I, again, haven't read the book. I probably need to stop putting that qualification there. It sounds triggering to me. So basically, somebody put a question on the Goodreads, and this is like a key to, this is one of the two keys to the problem. The second key to the problem is the way the author responds to the criticism, like in life. But here's one of the keys to the problem, is the intention versus effect issue. Okay? Now, when I was in college, we learned about the 3 speech acts. There's another word for this. I can't remember what it's called. There's another term for this. The 3 speech acts. The perlocutionary, illocutionary, and locutionary act. I probably don't even need to go in much detail about this. The point is, locutionary is what is said. Illocutionary is what I, as the speaker or writer, intend. Well, usually speaker, okay? Illocutionary is what I, as the speaker, intend. And perlocutionary is what you, as the hearer, understand or perceive me to have said. So when a miscommunication happens, the illocutionary act and the perlocutionary act are not matching. And it could be an error on my side as the speaker. It could be an error on your side as the hearer. It could be an error on both sides, or it could be some, you know, thing that's outside of our control, right? But if I say, hand me the rake, and you understand, hand me the snake, okay, it could be no one's error. It could just be that you misheard that, right? But the point is, what I intend and what you understand could be two different things, and that doesn't necessarily mean that your perception is wrong or that you're wrong all the time. So in this case, the book's about the ghost teaching the girl to have an eating disorder, okay? Now, the book may be, in the end, everyone learns that eating disorders are actually not healthy. And in the end, like, the living girl gets some help. I don't know what happens in the end of the book, right? So I don't know what the message is that the book is trying to convey. But somebody posted a question on the Goodreads page of this book, and it said, something like, is this book going to be triggering? Or are the things that the ghost says going to be triggering? or something like that, or harmful, or I'm problematic. I may have to look at that again so I don't misquote. But the author answered this question with, you have to put the things she says in context. Yes, she's saying things that are triggering for an eating disorder, but you have to put it in context of the way that her character is, and you can't just look at it outside of context. And I was like, okay, this is the classic example of, here's the way I intended it. If you didn't understand it that way, you're wrong. Okay, and listen, I understand some of you guys may not be like, no, that's not what she said. What she said was, it's in context. I understand this, but what I'm saying is, when we're talking about whether language is triggering or not, context is not a large part of it. And I am speaking as someone, I'm I'm not gonna cry, right? But I'm speaking as someone that has been triggered by things before, has felt triggered by things before, and it wasn't always like, okay, I know that in that context, like, it's different, but the way that I felt about it was the way I felt about it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, my feeling about it was still valid, regardless of you intending it in a certain way and phrasing it in a certain way for that reason. But I'm not saying that she... Okay, a lot of times when people say, oh, the book is problematic, a lot of times it is not a personal ad hominem attack on the author. Sometimes it may be, I don't know. I'm not trying to say, oh, look, author, you're a bad person because your book said this and this about a ghost and this and this and this. I don't think I would have chosen to write that subject matter in that way. I don't think I would have made that choice. I think that's very, very risky, and it very much has the potential to be triggering. So I don't think I would have made that choice. But I'm not saying all this in order to personally attack her. I'm saying all this because I feel like it needs to be said, about that book. But then, okay, here's the thing. So that's the intention versus effect. Okay, understand that you may have good intentions and you may still have a negative effect on somebody, and understand that it may be a good idea to apologize once you understand that you've had that negative effect, even if your intentions were good. It may be a good idea to say, hey, you were hurt by this, I'm sorry. Maybe. Okay? Not telling you what you have to do. You don't have to do this. I'm just saying, maybe. I'm trying not to qualify it too much, but I'm qualifying it a lot. Okay, but then here's the thing that made me really mad, that I feel was disrespectful by this author. This author used PayPal to contact a person that had said negative things about her book on Twitter. Now, I don't know all of the extent of what was said when. I did not see the Twitter threads in question, because I think by the time I was hearing about this, the threads in question were, removed or something. I don't know for sure, but I didn't see the threads in question. This is what I did see. I saw that this author used PayPal to contact this person on Twitter. There is documented proof of this, okay, that she used PayPal. And when she contacted this person on Twitter, she threatened legal action against this person on Twitter that had said negative things. Be very careful when you are threatening legal action. First of all, be careful that the grounds on which you're threatening legal action are sound. Okay? I mean, in theory, you could threaten it about anything, but I would be careful. But secondly, when you are using a medium such as the internet, where people are going to have record that you threaten them with legal action. So if you do bring them to court, they will have record of exactly how you phrased it and exactly what way you used to contact them. And she used PayPal. Which is like, how did you even find this person's PayPal account? Like, I don't even understand right now how you did that. But if you want to know more detail about it, you may be able to find it on Twitter or something. But I just feel like this was extremely disrespectful, a disrespectful way to act. I am not saying that her character is bad, that this author's character is bad. I think that she displayed bad judgment in this situation, and I'm trying to be as fair as possible. Okay, I think she displayed bad judgment in this situation. So, yeah, I would love to hear anyone else's thoughts about this. And I will touch very briefly on another brief situation. There was an author who I think she wouldn't mind having her name mentioned. She's, I don't think she would mind. Yeah, I'll just tell you. She's very public about this. But this author, L.L. McKinney, she was tweeting back and forth with this director, I think Scott Weinberg, and he was saying how he doesn't feel angry about like American directors remaking Asian films with a white cast. That he personally no, he didn't just say he doesn't feel angry about it. Hold on, sorry. He said he saves his anger for what is warranted. And I think this is where a big part of the controversy was, because it kind of appeared like he was saying this is an unwarranted situation for anger. And so this led to an argument. And so I actually went and I commented on his tweet or whatever. I replied to his tweet or something, about the anger not being warranted or whatever. And I just have to say there is a lot of controversy over whether you can be a non-marginalized, so quote unquote centered group and have an opinion on issues of marginalization. What I'm going to say right now, and I could, there are a lot of things that could be said on this. This is what I'm going to say right now. If you are in a centered group of people, you are not in a marginalized group of people. Yes, you can have an opinion on marginalization. You can have an opinion on everything. However, please understand that your opinion is not coming from a place of personal experience. And it's not that your opinion is not valid. It's that your opinion is colored differently by your own experiences. And so it's kind of like, if I have an opinion of childbirth, I have never given birth to a child. Okay? So if a woman that has given birth to a child comes to me and says childbirth is really painful, it would be rather inappropriate for me to say to her, no, childbirth is not painful, because I haven't been through it. Even if I've read a bunch of books about it, even if I have a medical degree, even if I've watched 20 different women give birth, I have not been through that experience myself. And so I think that, of course, you can have an opinion about the marginalization of other people, but please be aware that if you haven't been there, you don't know it. You don't have an inside perspective of it. Okay. Yeah, this is not said as a personal attack. Anything. It is just please be aware of that. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going to end it here. Yeah, I guess that was kind of long, but there still is so much more to say. So I think I will possibly make a part 2 tomorrow or Friday. And tomorrow is PitMad. So if anybody is doing PitMad, which is a pitch event on Twitter, have a good PitMad. Best wishes. Okay. Bye. Thank you guys so much for watching. And if you want to comment and subscribe, you know where to click. Bye.